So AG Joab, if you could share your success story as well from RC Nakuru.
Thank you very much, Grants Chair Roseanne, DG, DGE, DRFC, Rotarians, and Rotaractors. It is indeed an honor to be able to present here, and I don't know if the host can allow me to share a few slides I have. I realize I don't have rights. All right, thank you. Is it up?
Yes,
yes,
yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to share a success story of our signature project done by Rotary Club of Nakuru. This is the 60s rainwater harvesting project. It's under the WASH, water and sanitation area of focus. So basically, the problem that we are addressing as a club with this project is access to clean water. And I have two photos there to demonstrate. One is of some women fetching water from a water runoff, or rather a dam. And clearly you can tell that it's not clean from the look, and also how they are fetching. They are all dipped their feet into the dam. And then the other one, which is where now my point comes in, is a demonstration of a drilling. So Nakuru, which is along the Great Rift, you realize that the boreholes along the Great Rift have very high fluoride, and as much as groundwater would be the best source for community water, but for Nakuru, yes, it provides water, but again, it comes with its own challenges with dental fluorosis, which causes the brown teeth, and skeletal fluorosis for weak bones. And our solution for this challenge is the rainwater harvesting, which is a free source of clean drinking water. So our club, what we do is we construct 10,000 liters tank, which is shown in an image on my right with a lady right there. Then we do gutters, sorry about that. We do gutters around their household to be able to harvest the water. So this tank is estimated that it can take a normal household for around 3 months, which is the dry season in Nakuru. So during the rainy season, they're able to harvest the water. During the dry season, they can use the water that they have harvested, which is around 10,000. And our tanks, we insist on doing concrete tanks, not just buying a tank. And there are reasons to that. So there's a process that we take our beneficiaries, and this is where now the 60s comes in. All the process adds up to the 60s that we talk of. So the first T is the beneficiaries have to be members of a self-help group that is practicing table banking. The reason we do self-help group is because they are able to organize themselves and be registered in an organization that is recognized by the government, and they're able to benefit with other government funding. And for the Rotary setting, we form what we call RCC, the Rotary Community Corps. So the RCCs, we take around 10 self-help groups, put them together, and form an RCC. And within Nakuru, Laikipia, and Nyandarua, we have around 250 RCCs, in excess of 250. Then the second stage is trees. So every beneficiary has to plant 100 trees before they're able to get the tank. And mostly we get asked what happens with somebody with a small property. So as long as you can demonstrate that you planted 100 trees, it doesn't matter where. You can have some in your compound, and then you can plant others either at a local school, a dispensary, or along the road reserves, as long as you can demonstrate that you planted 100 trees, regardless of the location. Then you have to own at least a toilet. It doesn't have to be a fancy one. Any workable toilet, a simple one for that matter, goes. Then after getting those, then you go through some training. And these trainings are done at the groups level. And we have two types of training. We do water sanitation and health training, and then we do financial literacy training, and that is in line with the practices of table banking. WASH is in line with the water that we are providing. Then with all those, the 4 levels, then the real deal, which is what everybody wants, a tank. So once you are a member of a self-help group, you have planted 100 trees, you have a toilet, and then you have attended the sessions for training, then you are awarded a tank. And again, there are some conditions that you have to do before you are able to get the tank, which I'll address sometime. Then it is expected, after you have done all those, we expect that your life is transformed. And the photo I shared on the right, it's for a reason, because these women were not like this when they joined the self-help groups and the RCC. There were people who were poor, and you can see they are all happy, smiling, and healthy from the look you can see. So the success, this project has been running for over 20 years, and we've done thousands of households within Nakuru, Laikipia, and Nyandarua. We've done over 7,000 tanks so far. And there's a joke that we were recently sharing about this, that when you know in Rift Valley there's no freshwater lake, but Rotarians are able to form one by just asking our beneficiaries to fill up their tanks with rainwater, and then we ask them to empty. That would be around 700,000 liters of water just drained, and that is enough to make a lake. And the number of trees which are attached to these tanks, 100 trees for each tank for 7,000 tanks, that is around 700,000 trees, which is enough to make a forest. So that is success that we have seen in this. So the sustainability part, and this I borrowed from a guide for global grants, which says different organizations define sustainability differently, but for Rotary, it means providing long-term solution to community problems that community members themselves can support after grant funding ends. And that is what the project has been able to achieve. So one element of sustainability is we ensure that we are involving our community members from the initial stages, the implementation to the end. The photo on my left shows a group of women attending a needs assessment meeting. And at the front, for those who can recognize that, that is Edward, the cadre who serves at the DRFC, who was conducting the needs assessment. And the gentleman there is the founder of this project, who also attended the needs assessment activity. Then on the right is a demonstration of the involvement of the women, and we ensure that they are involved hands-on. So those are women who are mixing sand and cement, and there's a fundi there, so they are hands-on, and this ensures that they have skin into the project, and they are able to own the process. The other part, the second part of sustainability, is ownership. So all our tanks are built on properties that are owned by the beneficiaries, and that ensures that they are able to own, and nobody can take this asset away from them. And then there's an element of cost sharing. So the beneficiaries share, it's almost 50-50. Rotary Club of Nakuru provides hardware materials. The communities provide locally available materials, including labor. Then this is the interesting part, where we have been able to register a circle for the community members. And this is basically to move them from the informal setup of table banking into a more formal setup of regulated and registered and more formal setup. So the first photo is a photo of the certificate of registration. for the circle. Then the photo in the middle is the logo that has been adapted by the community members, and it demonstrates a number of things. The name Rotco, when we were forming this, we went and asked a few questions on how they would want this organization to be named. And since they appreciate the support by Rotary, they recommended we start Rotary Community Circle. But that would be a long name. So Rotco is a combination of Rotary and community. The few hands is the members of the community holding their hands together, and they pledge united to prosper. So by uniting them, we ensure that they are at least prospering. Then there are two logos that are written RCC. So these are the emblems of the RCC, because it is the RCC that have come together to be able to form this. Then the last photo on the right is one of the groups smiling with a check from Rotco that they have been able to receive to start a project on poultry. Then for the interest of this training, I wanted to share this. I called it the magic multiplier of the Rotary Foundation, and how it allowed us to do what our club alone could not have done. So when I was president last year, we received a global grant of around 35 million. We eventually got more than that with the exchange rate, and this was to allow us to do around 700 tanks. And the magic here is our club only contributed 600,000, and we got 35 million, and this was out of the matching by the Rotary Foundation, the district designated fund, and a few partner clubs who came together to be able to support us and help us achieve this. And the question I am posing there is, where else would you multiply 600,000 into millions? I've only seen that in Rotary, and I don't think there's anywhere else this kind of multiplication can happen. And that is one reason that would motivate anyone to be able to support our foundation, because they give us more than what we give. And we imagine being a part of this amazing foundation. We no longer imagine, because we are part of it, and we need to take advantage of the opportunities presented to us. Then the beneficiaries helping themselves, which is what we hoped for, that at the end of our involvement, the community members are able to continue supporting themselves. And the success here has been the circle. Upon registration, the members committed, to contribute 100 shillings per month per person. And over the few months that they have been contributing, they have been able to collect around 2 million that is sitting in their bank account for the Rotco Circle. And for every tank that we construct, there's a commitment fee of 5,000 that members contribute. In the past, we've used this for administration, paying facilitators and such. But for this global grant, they were kind enough to accommodate the administration part. So this money has been paid by the beneficiaries, but has not been used. Has not been used in the project. So our club committed to give back this money to the community, which basically is not a contribution from Rotary, but a contribution from them that they gave to be able to get a tank. But we are investing that back to them to boost their loaning fund, and also they are able to invest it, and out of the income they can support Rotco as it grows. So in the absence of Rotary Club of Nakuru, the Rotco organization will be able to continue meeting the needs of this community. If any community members from around wants maybe to acquire a tank and there are no grant funding, they can easily go to Rotco and borrow money. If the tank maybe after some years leaks, they're able to borrow from there and repair the tank. They will not need Rotarians to continue supporting them for that matter. I'll leave you with a quote that immediate past president Sheka gave when he was unveiling the theme for last year. And he said, service is the rent we pay for the privilege of living on this earth. And I've put a warning there that we should all be careful not to be evicted, because if you don't pay rent, then you would be evicted. And the Rotary has given us a chance to be able to serve our community and earn our time here. Thank you very, very much for this chat. Thank you.
It's nice presentation. Wow, that was impactful. And it's good to having these real examples, because they give us hope.
AG, Job, thank you very much for presenting a wonderful sharing and an example, a scenario that we are going to remember throughout our time. And we hope that you'll be able to share that scenario at the Rotary Foundation, RI convention, and even to the My Rotary magazine. It's a very, very living example for all of us. And we commission you to go to the field and do what is necessary and do it very well. Thank you, and God bless each one of you.